What if Elon Musk started his own political party? What if Elon Musk, the man who sent rockets into orbit and electrified our roads, decided not to build rockets or cars next, but a political party? Imagine headlines like, Elon Musk launches America Party to challenge Trump and Biden. In a world already divided, could a billionaire technocrat single-handedly reshape American democracy? Today, we explore this explosive what-if scenario, from campaign strategies to national impact. Could Musk disrupt the political establishment as fearlessly as he disrupted auto and space industries? In the summer of 2025, America's political landscape was shaken by one of the most unexpected moves in modern history. Elon Musk, the billionaire entrepreneur who had previously backed Donald Trump with hundreds of millions of dollars in campaign contributions, turned against him in spectacular fashion. The breaking point came with Trump's unveiling of the One Big Beautiful Bill, a sweeping $3 to $5 trillion spending package that combined infrastructure expansion, defense investments, and massive tax reforms. Musk, long a critic of government inefficiency, took to his platform X to denounce the bill as historically reckless debt slavery, warning that it would saddle future generations with unsustainable debt and erode America's economic freedom. This wasn't just political commentary, it was personal. Musk had invested not only his money, but his reputation in supporting Trump's re-election in 2024. He believed Trump's second term would prioritize fiscal restraint and pro-innovation policies. Instead, Musk watched as the administration pushed forward what he saw as big government overreach on a historic scale. Disillusioned with both Republicans and Democrats, Musk declared that America no longer had two distinct parties. It had one corrupt uniparty, serving special interests instead of the American people. On July 1st, Musk made his boldest political move yet. Standing before a crowd of supporters and millions more watching online, he announced the formation of the America Party, a new political movement aimed at giving a voice to disillusioned centrists, independents, and libertarians. He called on voters to reject career politicians and demanded that incumbents who supported reckless spending be removed from office in the upcoming primaries. His message resonated with a wide swath of Americans who felt alienated by partisan bickering and unaccountable leadership. But building a new political party in America is no easy feat. The two-party system is deeply entrenched, protected by complex ballot access laws, entrenched donor networks, and centuries of political inertia. History is littered with failed third-party movements, from Ross Perot's Reform Party to Teddy Roosevelt's Bull Moose campaign. Yet Musk possesses three undeniable advantages that no previous third-party challenger had. First, his brand. Elon Musk is a name recognized globally. He's not just a businessman, he's a cultural icon admired by millions for revolutionizing electric vehicles, space travel, and online communications. His ability to command attention on social media and dominate headlines gives him a direct line to voters that no traditional politician can match. Second, his resources. Through his America PAC and personal wealth, Musk has access to hundreds of millions, if not billions, of dollars that he could funnel into political campaigns, grassroots organizing, and media operations. Unlike most political outsiders, Musk doesn't need to beg donors for support. He can self-fund his message, bypassing the influence of traditional political donors. Third, his platform. Owning X gives Musk an unparalleled tool for real-time communication and political organizing. He can shape narratives, mobilize supporters, and challenge opponents instantly, without relying on legacy media to carry his message. But despite these advantages, the road ahead is treacherous. Third-party efforts in the United States have historically failed for two main reasons: lack of ideological clarity and lack of organizational infrastructure. So far, Musk's political ideology remains vague. Beyond his opposition to government overspending and support for innovation, His positions on critical issues such as healthcare, education, climate change, and foreign policy are undefined or contradictory. He appeals to fiscal conservatives on economic matters, but alienates some of them with his libertarian views on drug use and free speech. He champions free market capitalism, but has benefited from billions in government contracts and subsidies. Reconciling these contradictions will be crucial if he hopes to build a coalition beyond his most loyal fans. Institutionally, the America Party faces monumental hurdles. Every state has its own rules for getting on the ballot, and the process is both costly and time-consuming. Without an army of organizers collecting signatures, filing paperwork, and defending against legal challenges, Musk's candidates could find themselves blocked from participating in key elections. Additionally, the America Party would need to recruit viable candidates at the local, state, and federal levels, people who not only support Musk's vision, but can also win elections in diverse districts across the country. Moreover, Musk faces skepticism from both sides of the aisle. Republicans who once embraced him as a pro-business ally now see him as a potential spoiler who could split the conservative vote and hand victories to Democrats. Democrats, meanwhile, view him as an opportunistic billionaire out of touch with working Americans. His critics argue that Musk's entry into politics is driven more by ego than by a genuine desire to serve the public good. Still, Musk's timing is strategic. Polls show record-high dissatisfaction with both major parties. A growing segment of the electorate identifies as independent, frustrated by partisan gridlock and government dysfunction. Younger voters, in particular, express a desire for new voices and bold solutions. Musk's announcement taps into this dissatisfaction, positioning him as a political disruptor, capable of shaking up the system just as he did in the auto and space industries. Whether his America Party can harness this energy into a sustainable political force remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: Musk's entry into the political arena is not a vanity project. It is a calculated attempt to reshape American politics in his image: fiscally conservative, technologically forward-looking, and defiantly independent of traditional power structures. In the next part, we'll explore how Musk could turn this bold vision into a functioning political machine, and whether the America Party stands a chance against the entrenched forces of Washington's two-party system. Launching rockets and launching a political party are two very different undertakings. Elon Musk discovered this the hard way when he announced the formation of the America Party, after publicly condemning the $3.5 trillion Big Beautiful Bill as a uniparty betrayal of Americans. To transform his viral moment into a lasting political force, Musk now faces two parallel battles: building both policy substance and political structure, two arenas where most third-party efforts have stumbled. First comes the question of platform coherence. While Musk has consistently attacked inflation, rising debt, and excessive government spending, his positions on hot-button domestic issues have been conspicuously absent. He hasn't laid out plans on abortion rights, gun control, healthcare reform, climate action, or social justice. Critics argue these are fatal omissions. Fiscal conservatives may welcome his anti-spending rhetoric, but can he broaden appeal to suburban families, moderate Democrats, progressive independents, or communities of color? The America Party can't survive on economic populism alone. It needs a full policy identity that speaks to real voters, not just tech-savvy boosters. Next is the issue of coalition building. Musk has cultivated early alliances with libertarian conservative figures like Representative Thomas Massie, pledging to support primary challengers against lawmakers who backed the Big Beautiful Bill. But value alignment is not enough. To scale up, he must recruit credible candidates across the ideological spectrum. That means attracting reform-minded Democrats in blue districts, moderates in swing states, and grassroots activists nationwide. This is a tall ask from a movement associated with a billionaire platform and libertarian messaging. Yet, the institutional barriers are arguably even higher. America's two-party duopoly is fortified by state-level systems that make ballot access a gauntlet. Some states require hundreds of thousands of petition signatures, or a percentage of the vote in previous elections. Without deep localized organizing teams or mountains of cash to fight legal battles, the America Party risks being shut out of ballots altogether in key regions. These aren't hypothetical hurdles. Experts warn the pathway to ballot access is extremely difficult, even for the world's richest man. It may take years and hundreds of millions of dollars just to clear these legal hurdles. That cash is another weapon Musk wields, but it comes with limitations. Federal election law places strict limits on direct donations to party committees. Musk's America PAC, funded by hundreds of millions from his wealth and network, can spend unlimited amounts on certain political advocacy, but not on direct party funding. He'll still be up against powerful Democratic and GOP donor networks, as well as well-financed super PACs like FSD PAC, created specifically to counter Musk's influence in key districts. Media credibility is another hurdle. Early reactions to Musk's plans have been mixed. Professional pollsters and media voices dismiss his effort as impulsive or even unserious. A notable MAGA-aligned pollster mocked the idea as ketamine-level impulsiveness, reinforcing the perception that Musk is more flair than substance. That narrative can be damaging. Voters and mainstream media often treat third parties as distractions or spoilers, and Musk's high-profile missteps, like the controversial GOP-era salute, feed confirmation bias. Building media credibility and party legitimacy will require focused, sustained communication. The America Party will need detailed policy briefs, trusted surrogates trained for debate, and serious public engagement, not tweets and flashy announcements. It also needs local roots. Political power in the U.S. begins at the grassroots: town halls, precinct-level organizers, community events. Big names like Musk make headlines, but elections are won door to door. So the real challenge isn't whether Musk can launch a party, it's whether he can sustain it beyond a headline moment. Can he build a party infrastructure capable of mobilizing voters across 50 states? Can he offer a platform that resonates with more than just libertarian tech elites? Can he outspend and out-organize opponents in the messy, decentralized world of American politics? Early signs are mixed. Polls show over half of Americans express interest in a viable third-party alternative. But while enthusiasm is high, few Americans commit to third-party voting when it matters most. And established parties don't yield easily. Lawsuits over signatures, media attacks, PAC-funded opposition, they come hard and fast. If the America Party fails to gain meaningful traction in candidature or votes in the 2026 midterms, it risks being written off as another billionaire vanity project. But if Musk's team builds serious local organization, crafts a credible multi-issue platform, and rises above the noise, America's political landscape could be rewritten. As one political analyst put it, only the richest person in the world could attempt this, but money alone doesn't guarantee party-building success. In the next part, we'll examine how Musk's America Party could play the political media and fundraising game, and whether it can hold up under the pressure of real-world campaigns. With the launch of the America Party, Elon Musk took a powerful first step, but the real test began the moment headlines faded. Building a political movement isn't a one-off spectacle. It's a long haul of organization, persuasion, and groundwork. Now that the buzz wore off, Musk needed to turn viral energy into political muscle. Volunteers, donors, voters, and a coherent message that traveled from screens to precincts and ballots. At first, attention was all his. News networks couldn't ignore it. CNN brought in MAGA commentators who visibly squirmed as they fielded questions about the threat Musk posed to traditional Republicans. The Daily Beast. Late-night hosts had a field day. Cable news reran his announcements, dissecting every line. On X, Musk dropped quick polls, issued fundraising challenges, retweeted supportive messages, and spotlighted critical vote counts in real time. Within 48 hours, his campaign had 500,000 signups for updates and hundreds of grassroots volunteers offering to help. But most of that energy lived online. Converting real-world support, door knockers, field organizers, local campaign offices, is where most nascent parties collapse. Musk needed a distribution network across 50 states, persuasion teams, legal volunteers, and a donor base that didn't just tweet, "I support," but wrote checks and canvassed neighborhoods. That network doesn't spring up overnight, even with billions in the bank. In Washington, Musk's headlines prompted counterpunching efforts. Trump allies floated rumors that Musk's political play was another publicity stunt. GOP-aligned groups like FSD PAC raised funds to oppose America Party candidates in key battleground districts, Politico. Meanwhile, lawsuits began popping up over his Dogecoin-themed promotional events, where he encouraged donors to send crypto in exchange for priority status in candidate endorsements. Critics argued he was exploiting crypto loopholes to dodge campaign finance laws. Worse, controversy trailed Musk like a shadow. His echoing salute at a Trump rally earlier in the year, bringing flashbacks of the Nazi salute, resulted in harsh criticism from Jewish groups nationwide. A unity moment meant to signal solidarity became a foreign policy and cultural embarrassment, alienating moderate suburban voters and immigrant communities deeply critical to any new party's hopes. Financially, Musk's America PAC was flush with cash. No one doubted he could bankrupt an election, buy ad time in key media markets, or hire high-priced campaign consultants. But money alone can't build legitimacy. Public protests and boycott campaigns, like the continuing Tesla takedown, revealed deeper public resentment toward Musk's growing political influence. Even big-money donors asked, was this a billionaire playing with politics or a sincere premiership? The marches to Tesla factories and viral ads criticizing Musk's PAC kept the pressure on, and public scrutiny extended beyond optics. State election boards began scrutinizing his petition signatures as potential fraud, alleging paid sponsors didn't verify voter registration properly. Opponents filed ethics complaints over in-kind crypto contributions through X. The Federal Election Commission launched an informal inquiry into whether Musk structured his fundraising to avoid contribution limits. All of this forced his campaign machinery onto defense: legal teams, compliance officers, brand repair specialists, putting the infrastructure under strain. Meanwhile, mainstream media began rejecting requests from his nascent party. Major outlets demanded policy documents, voting histories, and detailed positions on everything from abortion to climate policy. Musk's tweeting style wouldn't cut it. He needed policy white papers, think tank partners, and credible surrogates to stand in for him at forums and debates. Speech-making and intuitive social commentary wouldn't suffice. At the same time, Musk's critics raised the specter of a billionaire stepping into democracy with more sway than any citizen, one with unfiltered access to a social media platform and enough money to override democratic processes. That narrative hurt the America Party's mission to represent the 80% in the middle. It reinforced the fear that this was simply the next Musk engineering project, not a people's movement. By the time the first primaries came around in 2026, Musk's America Party faced a gauntlet of real-world tests: canvassing in Virginia suburbs, town halls in swing districts, early fundraising thresholds, endorsements from local officials. And amid it all, the party needed to show that it could win, not in polls, but in precincts, with votes on a ballot. The battle had begun. Now it came down to whether Musk's team could translate online fire into relentless, careful, voter-by-voter execution. By the time the 2026 midterm elections arrive, the America Party has transcended late-night humor and Twitter threads. It's no longer just a thought experiment, it's a real political player. In key swing districts across the Sun Belt and Rust Belt, Musk-backed candidates win shock elections, flipping several Republican-held seats. The party's messaging platform resonates: small government, fiscal discipline, and a belief that both major parties have neglected everyday Americans. That success positions Elon Musk as the de facto kingmaker of American politics. Suddenly, his endorsement becomes something both parties covet. A moderate Democrat wary of Biden or a fiscal conservative alienated by Trump might seek Musk's stamp of approval. Candidates shape their messaging to echo his America Party platform: anti-corruption, debt-cutting, and bipartisan pragmatism. In some cases, traditionally safe seats begin to wobble as challengers campaign under the America Party banner. Suddenly, the entrenched two-party system starts to feel vulnerable. By 2028, Washington's political calculus has shifted. The America Party can act as either spoiler or swing kingmaker. Congressional votes become unpredictable. Bills once stalled in partisanship now require negotiation across a new third-party bloc: the 13 Republicans. Michaels, as America Party-endorsed members, hold the balance of power in the Senate. Their votes become vital. Without them, neither MAGA-friendly conservatives nor Biden-aligned Democrats can pass key legislation. Party leaders must woo them, splitting the ideological cleavages of Capitol Hill, and the broader policy impact is profound. Republicans begin moderating their tax cut proposals to draw back fiscally conservative independents. Democrats recalibrate messaging to win back small government moderates by emphasizing infrastructure investment with budget offsets. The America Party's influence pushes both parties to the center. Healthcare legislation, formerly gridlocked, emerges as a possible area of compromise. If America Party members signal support for targeted reforms, regulation of emerging AI, climate-centered tech policy, and national debt limits are now central discussion points in Washington, subject to cross-party negotiations no longer dominated by MAGA or Bidenite orthodoxies. Yet the rising influence of the America Party comes with a cost. Traditional Democratic and Republican bases cry foul. In some quarters, Musk onward proves to be a spoiler. America Party candidates pull enough votes from GOP or Democratic rivals that hard right or progressive outcomes actually benefit. In several close races, the presence of America Party candidates likely siphons the critical margin, pushing the election in favor of MAGA extremists or one-time Biden loyalists. This fragmentation sparks a backlash. Social media heat intensifies. Voter fatigue grows amid multiple party messages. Some analysts warn a coalition of chaos is forming, where no single party can deliver clear mandate, and middle ground policies die from lack of decisive support. The same independents and moderates who initially embraced the America Party now voice concerns that their movement is paralyzing progress. Political scientists debate whether America has entered a successful realignment or a dangerous phase of ongoing voter disillusionment. If the America Party becomes a permanent fixture, American elections become less two-dimensional and more centrist-orientated. Coalition building becomes mandated, and ideological purity loses its dominance. Yet the new reality lacks clarity. A fractured Congress struggles to pass coherent budgets, and major initiatives stall on the altar of compromise. Complicating matters, the America Party lacks traditional campaigning infrastructure. Its organizational consistency varies by district, leading to unpredictable legislative behavior among its members. Some caucus with Democrats, others with Republicans. This inconsistency prompts criticism from voters demanding accountability and unified direction. Meanwhile, voter turnout among independents, who once flocked to America Party candidates, begins to dip. Enthusiasm is replaced by confusion. The broader media narrative reflects this tension. Cable news runs panels questioning whether Musk has improved or undermined American democracy. Late-night hosts lampoon the unpredictable coalition-building mess. Fact-checkers scrutinize vague pledges and mixed messaging. And even Musk himself, tweeting through his X account, faces growing pressure to provide clarity on policy positions ranging from climate, education and immigration, to AI, healthcare, and foreign affairs as war in Ukraine continues. Despite all this, one undeniable change remains. The established parties cannot ignore the America Party anymore. By shifting vote patterns and holding the margins of power in crucial districts, Musk has softened Washington's binary grip. For better or worse, the traditional red-blue dichotomy has fractured, forcing America's national discourse into new territory. In short, the America Party has shaken the system. The question now is whether doctrinaire flexibility can be sustained, but divided leadership may stymie urgent action. The America's future could be marked by renewed bipartisan cooperation or permanently gridlocked chaos. In our next and final part, we explore the long-term trajectories. Will this movement evolve into a permanent third force or collapse under its internal contradictions? And what does it mean for average Americans watching the process unfold? As the dust begins to settle, the America Party's impact is no longer a question of novelty, but one of permanence. Whether Elon Musk's political venture burns out or endures, it has already forced the nation to confront an uncomfortable reality. American politics is now open to direct disruption from billionaire entrepreneurs who bypass traditional pathways. The very existence of the America Party sets a precedent. If Musk, using his own wealth and media platform, can shake the foundations of the two-party system, what's to stop others from following? Tech moguls, media tycoons, and wealthy activists across the spectrum could see this as a call to arms. The next decade might witness an era where the richest Americans don't just fund campaigns, they run them personally, armed with vast social media influence and global name recognition. This could lead to a fractured political landscape where personalized parties emerge around influential individuals rather than lasting ideologies or community movements. But beyond personalities, structural reform questions loom large. America's electoral system was designed for two dominant parties. If Musk's third-party challenge gains traction, the flaws of winner-takes-all voting become painfully clear. Voters disillusioned with being forced to choose the lesser of two evils may demand ranked choice voting, proportional representation, or ballot access reforms to level the playing field. Cities like New York and San Francisco have already embraced ranked choice voting in local elections. Could the chaos of a fragmented 2028 presidential race push these changes nationwide? States and perhaps Congress itself will have to confront whether the American system should evolve to reflect a multipolar political reality or protect the old guard. Yet perhaps the most volatile impact is cultural. For centuries, America's political identity has been rooted in civic institutions, not celebrity. Musk's rise challenges that. Is American democracy still a system of citizen participation, or has it become a stage for the world's wealthiest to act out their political fantasies? Musk's supporters argue he represents the innovative spirit of American exceptionalism, a self-made entrepreneur refusing to be silenced by bureaucratic inertia. His critics warn he embodies a dangerous populism where money and fame replace civic service and experience. This tension forces Americans to reflect on their values. Do we embrace bold disruptors who break molds, even at the cost of democratic stability? Or do we defend the messy but resilient processes of our republic, designed to resist cults of personality? On a practical level, the America Party could force both Republicans and Democrats to adapt. Perhaps they will modernize their platforms, address fiscal conservatism with sincerity, and court independence with real solutions rather than partisan platitudes. If so, Musk's challenge could strengthen democracy by forcing much-needed evolution. But the alternative is troubling. His party might splinter the center, weakening moderates and leaving political extremes to dominate. Voter apathy could rise and disillusionment deepen as Americans grow frustrated with fragmented politics that can't deliver results. Financially, Musk's unprecedented spending on his political movement could trigger new debates on campaign finance. Should any one person be able to bankroll an entire national movement? Will Americans accept this as the price of political innovation, or demand limits on how much personal wealth can influence elections? Calls for campaign finance reform, transparency in political donations, and restrictions on self-funded campaigns could grow louder. Yet Musk's defenders will argue, If billionaires can launch companies that change the world, why shouldn't they be allowed to change politics too? So what happens next? Much depends on whether the America Party can translate early momentum into lasting influence. If Musk's candidates perform well in the 2026 midterms, he will have proven his party is more than a vanity project. A strong showing could give him leverage in national debates, forcing both major parties to court his movement's support. If the America Party stumbles, failing to win seats or build a sustainable organization, it could fade like so many third-party attempts before it, remembered only as an expensive political experiment. But even in failure, its impact would linger, as a warning shot to the two-party system that complacency is no longer an option. For the American people, the deeper question is this: what kind of politics do we want? Will we double down on entrenched party structures that frustrate innovation and alienate moderates? Or will we open the door to independent voices, even if they arrive wrapped in controversy and contradiction? Elon Musk's America Party forces us to grapple with that choice. Is his rise a wake-up call to reform our democracy, or a dangerous distraction from the real work of uniting a divided nation? Whatever happens next, one thing is clear: Musk has already changed the conversation. Politics in America can no longer be contained within the red and blue. The next chapter will be written not just in Washington boardrooms, but in the minds of voters deciding whether to embrace disruption or defend tradition. The fate of the America Party, and perhaps American democracy itself, now rests in our hands. So now the question is yours to answer. Has Elon Musk's America Party opened a new chapter of political innovation, or unleashed a dangerous experiment that could fracture our democracy even further? Are we witnessing the rise of a better, more dynamic political system, or the unraveling of the institutions that once held our nation together? If you were in charge, would you welcome this disruption, or fight to protect the old system, flaws and all? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear your voice, whether you agree, disagree, or have a totally different take. If this video sparked a thought, a debate, or even just a little curiosity, please hit like, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more deep dives into the political what-ifs that shape our future. Thanks for watching, and remember, the future isn't written by those who complain. It's written by those who dare to imagine it differently.